River Road, you got me running way back home. River Road, you got me running all night long. You got me singing some canal boat song. River Road, you got me running all night long.
All right, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Niner Nuts. I'm Dan here along with James, Mr. Jimmy B. How are we doing, Jimmy?
What's going on? I just had a huge buffet. So I'm pretty stuffed and ready to do this show.
It sounds like it. It sounds like Batman's excited too.
Yes. Batman. Come here.
I will be eating after this, but in lieu of talking about dinner, we have some week 2 bets that we are going to share with you, and we're feeling pretty good. We are feeling like we're on a bit of a roll after what we did.
Mascot money line. Yeah.
Yeah, after mascot money line. So what I'm gonna do, we'll just jump right into it. I kind of preemptively already got this set up here, not to completely spoil everything that we're doing, but I'll go ahead and scroll to each of these games as we talk about them. Our very, very first one, as you see up there, I kind of spearheaded this one pick. I'll steal it from you from convincing me to pick the Patriots last week to now in a non-mascot context. I think because the Seahawks barely beat the Broncos, it went down to the wire. I think that New England, who pulled a huge upset in the jungle in Cincinnati, I think I said off mic spoiling a home opener in Seattle. I flipped that. It's the home opener for New England, and I think New England's got some mojo going. They love Gerard Mayo as their head coach. I think Seattle on the road is much, much, much different than playing at home in it's not the link anymore, but in front of the 12s. And I think New England's gonna be all fired up to get this first home win for Gerard Mayo. So that's why we're thinking, and it sounded like you agreed with me. We we think New England going over Seattle, especially because Seattle is still the favorite for some reason. At least in my mind, I don't know why they're the favorite. But what do you give us your 2 cents on this game?
Well, if you're gonna pick an upset, when I was looking at my sports book, which is Hard Rock, I think it was even higher than plus 145. It was like in the threes. So let's see, where is it? New England, because I'm pretty sure it was in the threes. Well, now
Dang.
it's in 145. But well, yeah, I mean, if we're gonna choose an upset, I think that's a pretty good one with the Patriots upsetting the Bengals, and Seattle's probably not as good as the Bengals, and so being at home in front of their home crowd, you always got to love a good home underdog, So
Yeah,
home underdogs are
Seattle's got a decent secondary. Like they got a Julian Love had a pick over the weekend, and Tariq Woolen at least is playing pretty good. The other young corner they have isn't quite as good as his draft stock would lead you to believe. But I mean, overall, it's not a bad defense. But Jacoby is a very solid bridge quarterback, and they got it done. That New England defense, especially, is particularly feisty. And Geno Smith coming back down to earth over the past, well, all of last year, and then didn't do anything particularly spectacular. So now put him on the road. I love that they're favorites for this because I think New England's going to win this game.
Yeah. I mean, and home underdogs. That's like if you're gonna bet on an underdog, let it be somebody at home who's an underdog. So, yeah, being as they upset the Bengals week 1, and it's week 2, so you still never know what could happen. I mean, the Patriots could end up being the Patriots for the rest of the season, but the first 2 weeks of the season is somewhat crazy, and so, before teams can get it together, a lot of these teams, their starters didn't play in the preseason, so they're just, coming getting their feet under them, so yeah, I think Patriots as a home underdog is a pretty decent pick.
Yeah, 100%. The next game that we have on our ticket is the LA Rams and the Arizona Cardinals, a division matchup, an NFC West division matchup. The Cardinals almost just let the Bills slip through their fingers. Same with the Rams, just letting the Lions slip through their fingers. They could have had a massive upset in Detroit. But now these two teams, especially the Rams, more so than the Cardinals just want to prove that they're not a basement dweller, and this is their home opener, so there's that for them. But the Rams, they don't want to go on a 2-game losing streak before they host us in week 3 for their home opener. But the Rams are very, very, very hurt. They put Puka on IR. They put their left tackle on IR. They put a slew of people on IR. So they're going into this game pretty hurt. So this is going to be a nail biter. Like this could be a real knockout, drag out fight. I'm glad the Desert thinks so too. Just 1 point favorites for the Cardinals. That sounds about right. But at the end of the day, I think the Rams will make this a get right game. I think they're still just a little bit more talented than the Cardinals, especially with Stafford having a seemingly healthy Cooper Cup. So I don't know. This will probably come down to a field goal, but I think the Rams will end up on top.
Yeah, me too. I mean, you know, in on Hard Rock, they're the underdogs, and
The
they
Rams
were
are.
yeah, the Rams were the underdogs on Hard
Oh,
Rock.
they're underdogs on this one too. Sorry.
Yeah, but I mean they're a plus underdog. Um, like they're like at plus 100, and at one point they were at plus 145 earlier today. So
Oh, okay.
money line betting is going heavy on the Rams right now. So I think even the gamblers are saying like, yeah, Rams is an underdog against the Cardinals. Like the money's going towards that because everybody thinks Vegas maybe got that wrong by having the Cardinals as a minus favorite against the LA Rams.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Like they had Buffalo, like they had them by the cojones, and then they let it just kind of slip away, and Josh Allen went God mode on them. But no, it's gonna be an awesome game at 4 o'clock. That'll be really really fun to watch, and it's gonna matter a lot for the Rams. Like morale for the Cardinals is one thing, but for the Rams, they do not want to be 0-2 when the Sea of Red takes over their home game in week 3 when we come to LA and visit. So hopefully they're not underestimating the Cardinals. Hopefully Sean McVay is telling them like, "Yo, guys, like we fought hard in Detroit. We're gonna have to fight just as hard against these Cardinals."
Yeah.
So anyway, the next game. Oop, already went a little too far. Where there it is. I went a little too far. Our third game on our ticket is the New Orleans Saints, who some people believe are the best team in the league. I mean jokingly, but they had the best performance of the week, like just from an objective stat standpoint. The only quarterbacks that did better than Derek Carr were Brock Purdy and Sam Darnold. Just by coincidence, they play each other. And he kicked the crap out of the Panthers, even though I think you can say that that just says more about the Panthers. Same with the Cowboys, who kicked the living crap out of the Cleveland Browns. That's a whole nother discussion in itself about the Browns and my feelings towards them. But now they're going against each other in Jerry World. I think that the Saints are going to come crashing down to earth. Uh, maybe they do have we gave them a Kubiak for their offense, so maybe their offense does score more than 17 points. Like, that's the way I'm kind of looking at this, is that they'll score 17 points, most of it in garbage time, and the Cowboys will score at least 30 points, probably more. And so instead of just picking a winner, going over on the 47 seems like a very good bet for this game. Like, it's not going to be all 47 points by the Cowboys, but assuming the Cowboys will at least get 30 doesn't seem like that big of a stretch. And the Cowboys will kick the crap out of the Saints at the end of the day. But we're going to go over on this one instead of just an outright win. James, what do you think? Or Jimmy B, what do you think?
Well, I mean, being as both teams scored over 30 points last week, I know that the Cowboys defense tends to be a lot tougher. However, the Browns offense is bad, just really, really bad. So
Only the Panthers are worse.
yeah, so I would presume that the Saints are going to score more than, what was it, 13 points that the Browns scored. So I think they're going to
I
score
think that was
more.
it.
I think they're going to score more points than them. I think Dallas is going to score a bunch of points. They were one of the leaders in points per game last year with their offense. So, and it looks to be as if they're in the similar state that they were last year, being one of the top offenses in the league. So I think over, like when you think over, you think, okay, 47 points. What is that? That's 26-21, and, it's probably going to be 30-20 or something like that. One of these teams is going to score 30, I believe. And so the other team will only need to score 17 points in order for us, or 18 points in order for us to hit the bet. So
Yeah, this is prime Cowboy season too. Like, early in the regular season when the stakes aren't like that high per se versus like a November or December game. And this is not a primetime game either. So so Dallas with a much inferior opponent. I don't know why they still have Dennis Allen as a coach in New Orleans. Yeah, there is a lot of confidence that Dallas will score at minimum 30 points. If they score 37 points, that means New Orleans has to score 10. And if they can't score 10 points, then like the Saints just need a true tear down top to bottom, like the two New York teams and Carolina need already, only 1 week into the season. Uh, but yeah, no, 47. This should definitely be over 47. Jerry World is not a fun place to play in the regular season when you somehow are worse than the Cowboys. But I say that, and like, Dallas honestly doesn't have a bad roster on paper. They show up when it doesn't matter. It's just when it does matter, they don't show up. So, and you know that as well as anybody.
yeah.
So our so our last game, nothing is highlighted in here. That said, though, we did an alternate spread here between the Pittsburgh Steelers going to Denver. We had a very long discussion off mic about this game. Why? So I guess I'll let you take the reins on this one. Like, why we
So
picked this game in general, and then why we did an alternate spread. I'll let you spearhead this one.
So actually, I like Denver at home against the Steelers. I watched that Atlanta Pittsburgh game, and I mean, there's that Pittsburgh offense. Just Atlanta has like maybe one good person in their secondary. The rest of their secondary, the announcers were saying, were pretty bad.
It's
And
safety. It's safety. Jesse Bates. I bet. I bet that's who they were
Jesse
saying was the
Bates is
best
the only
player.
good person, and the Steelers only, Justin Fields still couldn't, throw the ball around or anything like that. So I was unimpressed by Fields in the Steelers offense, and I felt that going to Denver, with the higher climate in the air is always a home field advantage for the Broncos, and I think the Broncos could come out a winner um, out of this, like, just because once again they're a home underdog. I like home underdogs, and that particular game with Justin Fields at quarterback against the Denver defense, like, I think Denver has a good chance to pull it out, the victory. That being said, Dan and Eric both didn't want to to bet Denver to outright win. So
You
we
watched
had
that. My one argument is you watched that game. You saw how insane that Denver defense was, and sure, it's week one, and like how healthy is Kirk Cousins, but even a healthy rookie at home, a healthy rookie at home is still a rookie at just a rookie going against the Steelers. At least set the tone that they want to be in the top three best defenses in the league, and TJ Watt's going to do his damnedest to get them there. That's why I didn't want to pick Denver to win the game because that defense is terrifying.
I mean, the defense is terrifying, but I believe I still like to think with a new quarterback in Bo Nix, Sean Payton as the coach, and then basically, I mean, I think it's going to be a defensive battle. I think it's going to be, who has enough on offense. Batman, come here. Who has enough on offense to come out a winner? And I think Denver has more on offense than the Steelers. But I couldn't convince you and Eric of that. So we had to do, we wanted to go, what did we want to go under on it? We wanted to go under 45.
No, it's under 36 now.
Oh yeah, it was 37, right? It was under 37.
I said let's go under because neither offenses can score.
But I don't like unders. I don't.
It's 36 now.
Yeah, like I don't like unders. So I was like, well, maybe we could do an alternate line, and that way,
We're back. Minor technical difficulty there. We're back. That was really funny. We'll just share that little moment with us.
On the outtakes at the end of the year. That should go outtakes at the end of the year.
Yeah, we'll just keep that little moment for us for now. That was really funny though.
So
you were saying about the alternate spread.
So basically, the under was way too small for me, and I don't like unders. I always feel like when I pick an under, it always ends up going over by a point or something like that. So we decided together to take the points with Denver, but instead of giving them 2.5, we give them 3.5. That way, if the Steelers kick a last-second field goal, in Mile High, we'll still win the game at 3.5. So that's sort of where we went alternate line with that one.
Right. And I find that to be a good compromise, honestly, you know what? You hit it on the last time. Who am I to say otherwise this time? If this didn't dox me last time, I was trying to I gotta enter the wager there. Are we doing the full or just the two of us?
I think we got to put 15 for Eric, right?
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Look at that.
242.
Not bad. Not bad.
That's not a bad payout. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll screen cap that and send that to everybody. And no, not a bad potential. Not as good as last time, but I mean, we're not kind of swinging for the fences we were last time either.
We had a 5-team money line parlay with like a plus 345 underdog. That was crazy. Like that's why it was so high.
Let's see. It's still not bad. I'll take $70, $70.50.
Me too.
That's not too bad. I may even round that up and make it 71 for each of us if we get that. Let's I know that's what we got for our week 2 money line this week, guys. This is going to be a slightly shorter episode than some of our other ones, but yeah, that's what we got for you on the money line. The only other thing I have on the docket here before we talk about sponsors is I want to ask, what is the one thing? We're going to Minnesota. Last time we were in Minnesota, it was on prime time. I think it was Monday Night Football, and we were upset. And Brock got a concussion. Charvarius Ward had a pick, but then right before halftime, he had another should have been pick right through his fingers, and Addison got a touchdown. I don't know. What's one thing that you are worried about or would keep an extra eagle eye on? Like, what's one aspect of this game that you're most forward to seeing play out or watch? And it is on one. It is at 1 o'clock this time instead of prime time, so like right at the top of the day. So that's a little bit different. But what's one thing that
Other
you?
than Justin Jefferson, like, just Justin Jefferson going Madden on y'all, 'cause, uh, 'cause he can do that. He has the ability to go Madden on everybody. He
Yeah,
has Sam Darnold,
we
who we
we
saw
don't
last week.
shadow with we. We don't shadow Ward very often, but I would not be surprised if Sorensen made the case this week to make Ward shadow Jefferson.
Yeah. Yeah, which would leave Jordan Addison, um, open. Now we have Sam Darnold, my boy Sam Darnold, you know, is the quarterback. I mean, I I'll be interested to see, um, if if Minnesota will be able to keep Sam Darnold upright, because we know you guys have a very superior pass rush. So I think it's going to come down to the trenches, and if Minnesota can hold you guys back from having a lot of pressure on Sam Darnold, that's where I think Sam Darnold would shine if he had more time to throw in that. So I would be looking at, for me, mine is Justin Jefferson, because you always have to worry about Justin Jefferson. It's going to be, how much pressure the defensive line is getting on Sam Darnold, because I believe if they can keep him in duress, maybe not sack him every time, but keep him in duress the whole game, then he's just going to throw interceptions and do some of the Sam Darnold things he does.
It is cliche, but I think that's what it's going to boil down to. Because the Vikings defensive line got a little worse losing Daniil Hunter, um, but yeah, our offensive line has to not skip a beat. Like we held our own against a very good on paper defensive line. Now, can we continue that against a less superior defensive line? Can we keep Brock Purdy upright? Because there's not anybody that I can think of note on their defensive line, so just can't sleep on that. And then, oh right, and we're back. Sorry for another technical issue there. So what was I saying? The defensive line, um, our offensive line just has to hold that defensive line. We can't just assume that they're going to be bad. And then uh, they do have a couple pieces that are really good on the Vikings offensive line, but they are going to have their hands a lot more full um, than against the Giants. Like the Giants low key do have a pretty decent off defensive line, but their secondary got a little worse, and our secondary is better. So Sam is going to have a little less time. He's got to react a little faster, and with a pass rush that will, I think, still come at him harder than the Giants. Like I think I just credit to their defensive line. They're not terrible, but our defensive line is better and our secondary is better. So if we can just if we can keep Sam Darnold on his toes and throw some things at him that he maybe didn't see at practice last year, that's going to be a big benefit. And then yeah, just win in the trenches, keep those lines open for JP, because it's very likely we're not going to have Christian, and we gotta we just gotta keep those lanes open for him and pray he doesn't get hurt. So yeah, like I said, it's the cliche, but winning in the trenches is how we're gonna win this game most likely. I agree with you completely. And then keeping Justin Jefferson in check if there's any way we can do that. So
Yeah.
anyway, guys, I think with that, it's time to give a little shout out to our sponsor, RoyalRetros.com. What is RoyalRetros.com? It is your go-to place to get yourself an authentic throwback jersey. And whether you're a football fan, a basketball fan, or any of the major sports, just go to Royal Retros and they will hook you up. And also go check the Candlestick collection. It is curated with the Bay Area in mind. So when you find something that you like, throw it in your cart and use the promo code Shady Sports to get 10% off of your entire order. Again, it's promo code Shady Sports to get 10% off of your entire order at royalretros.com. Again, Go to RoyalRetros.com and use promo code Shady Sports and get yourself an authentic throwback jersey today. Next, our charity.
So, guys,
We have been inspired to raise money for a wonderful nonprofit because of terrible owners. Are we on a delay?
I think, yeah, I'm not on delay. I was hearing you.
Okay, sorry. It seemed kind of delayish. Do you want to take the reins on the charity aspect of this?
Yeah, let me just take over. So, guys,
Sure.
we've been raising money for Mountain Comprehensive Care centers in Kentucky. We had them on the show to talk about some of the things that go on with their organization, some of the statistics regarding sexual assault. And the reason why we chose Kentucky was the Houston Texans minority owner was charged with very serious sexual crimes there. And we found out recently that the 6 counts that he was arraigned on ended up being dropped, and he got a misdemeanor for uh, for what he had done. So
I
we
think
are
the word
seeing that,
mischief was literally in what he got convicted of.
yeah, it was a slap on the wrist, considering what he was actually charged with and how many counts to go from 6 counts of serious sexual crimes to a misdemeanor slap on the wrist and a fine. That I mean, we are seeing that the NFL is not living up to the owner standards are supposed to be greater than player standards, and we actually, as you can see at the bottom, we think owner standards are less than player standards. So we are asking for owner accountability in the NFL. And to show you where we put our money where our mouth is, we are selling shirts, t-shirts. Here's our statement. You can get this in different colors, different sizes, different styles. $22.99. Get you that in a t-shirt. Next up, we have our podcast logo art. You'll find this whenever you listen to us on Spotify, Apple Music, anywhere you listen to us or you see our YouTube channel. This will be there. $22.99 gets you that in a t-shirt, or we have different styles and different sizes as well. Next up, we have our alternate logo. I have this shirt, very high quality. $22.99 gets you that in a t-shirt, or we have different colors, different sizes, and different styles of that. And last but not least, how can you say no to our mascot, Peanut, cheering for his 49ers while eating peanuts? 3D glasses, $22.99 gets you that in a shirt. Donate to Mountain Comprehensive Care Centers today.
Yes, guys. Again, the links for bonfire.com and Mountain Comprehensive Care Center are in the show notes here on YouTube and on your podcast platform that you are listening on. We don't want any money from these shirts. We just want you to have a cool shirt while knowing you helped out some families in need. And that is all we got for you on this episode. Eric, we will touch base with him on when he will be back. Just things came up and he wasn't here. But so yeah, we're just kind of alternating if you or him or like it's just we'll get it figured out and we'll get it squared away. Um for the bit of news that I like to cap off each episode with, the only thing I want to say is shout out to Nick uh Moody, Jake Moody, not Nick Moody. I don't know. uh Jake Moody. I feel like I kind of put that into existence a little bit. I said, "Tell me if I'm overreacting," and the NFL said, "No, you are not overreacting." And they gave him the NFC Special Teams Player of the Week for hitting 6 field goals, including 2 from 50 yards out, even though one of them needed a dink. So yeah, shout out to him for getting that awesome honor. That's really really cool that he was the kicker of the week.
Yep, and I'm sure everybody at Jake Moody's high school is very proud of Jake Moody. When I spoke with their coaches and everybody there about Jake Moody last year, everybody was so proud of Jake just for even making the NFL, and I'm sure they're even prouder that that he won NFC Special Teams Player of the Week. So
Yeah, dude, absolutely. So with that, our game is at 1 o'clock on Sunday. I didn't check who, but it's CBS that's calling the game. It's probably not going to be Romo, but fingers crossed it's Kevin. Please, please, please. I know Kevin always goes to a southern state or California, but please, can we have Kevin on this game? Can we please, please, please? I know I can check it now. There are it's probably, well, by the time you guys are listening to this, they probably announced them. But yeah, please let Kevin Harlan call this game. I love him so much. But yeah, 1 o'clock on CBS on Sunday. And yeah, we'll be back on Tuesday. We'll see if Eric comes. And yeah, we'll be recapping
We'll be
hopefully a
back
victory
on.
over the Vikings.
Yep.
Did I not say Tuesday?
You did say Tuesday, but I'm thinking you were saying that we were going to record on Tuesday. No, we're recording on Monday, and we'll be back aired on Tuesday. So yeah.
Yeah, we're finally back on schedule. We'll talk off mic about Thursdays, but yeah, we won't have a Monday throwing our week off again for quite a few weeks, luckily. So but yeah, we'll be back on our regular Tuesday per usual. So yeah.
Well, with that being said, outro music, River Road, Justin Youth.
We'll see you all on Tuesday. Beat the Vikings.
River Road, you got me running way back home. River Road, you got me running all night long. You got me singing some canal boat song. River Road, you got me running all night long. River Road, where have all the women gone? Have they kissed her hand and waved you bye-bye? Have they thought about crossing your double yellow lines? River Road, they love the way you winding